Hey everybody, it's Jeff with Wieland Builders, and I am out at the Arden house that we just built here in Indian Hill. We just completed it. I'm standing in the kitchen, and today we want to talk to you about what to think about as you're coming into your selections appointment with your cabinetry distributor, cabinetry meeting. A few of the things that I like to think about before, because most of the time people are thinking about colors and thinking about wood species. We want to think about, number one, where do you want to put the sink at? Do you want the sink in the island? Do you want it on an exterior wall? Do you want a window above it? Do you care where the sink is at? Where do you want the range? Where do you want the cooktop hood? And where do you want the refrigerators? What do you want the refrigerators to look like? This is a decision that's going to come as you're walking through the appliance selections, as you're looking through different pictures, inspiration pictures. But don't worry so much about what you want your kitchen to look like right now. Think about what you want the function of it to be. And if you think about the function, then you can start thinking. And they have architects have a saying, it's called a triple 12 triangle. Triangle 12, it's where the range, the refrigerator, and the sink all go within a 12-foot triangle of each other. Rarely do we meet that anymore. We kind of get it close because we've moved the sink to the island so much. But that's something to think about when you're in the kitchen working. How convenient do you want those spaces to be? As you can see behind me, you can see a custom wood-built hood. If I can get that out, custom wood-built hood. It has a fiber insert inside of it that pulls the air out from the cooktop, and then it goes up, and we vent that to the exterior. The difference between this hood that you see here would be cabinetry above it, would be what I call a mechanical hood, which is made out of an appliance. And then, it's kind of the focal point of the kitchen. So think about that, think about functionality before you go into worrying about what color your cabinets are and the style of cabinets do you want. Here's something I want to put some attention on is the island in the kitchen. It's the largest piece of furniture in the house. This particular island that you're looking at is approximately 9 feet wide, which looks like it's a lot bigger than that. But think about, when you're thinking about your island, think about usage, how you're going to use it. Are you going to have a lot of people there? Do you want it one tier, which is pretty much all we do anymore? But then think about the size of the quartz or granite slabs that you're going to put on this island. I like to do it without a seam, and most slabs you can get in 10.5 foot wide pieces of rock. And that way you don't have a seam in it. Look at the end panels that we have on here, and then look at the front facing function. So usually if there's a sink in there, we have the dishwasher in the island. We also have the trash can cabinet in the island. On the front of the island, when you do a really deep island, this island is about 4.5 feet deep, it will have room for storage. So it has the overhang for where the stools can fit up underneath there, but on the front of it also has room for storage. And what we do with these, a lot of times we do a push button lock on it. So I push it and it opens up, and there's plenty of storage in there, a lot of storage. And then you push it back and it clicks back in there. Very cool panel design to look exactly like the rest of the kitchen. A lot of times what we're doing on the island, as you can see in this house, the island is a different color than the rest of the perimeter cabinetry. Makes it look awesome. As we stroll through the kitchen and we're thinking about appliances, a couple of things you want to keep in mind before you get into your cabinet meeting and thinking about what kind of appliances do you want. Do you bake a lot? Do you cook a lot? Are you just, and I'm sure everybody thinks that they do, but are you doing it commercial-wise or are you doing it family-wise? Do you want double ovens? Do you want a microwave? Do you want a large slide-in range? Do you want your appliances to look like they're part of the cabinetry, which would mean they are called panel-ready appliances. If you do panel-ready appliances, that limits your selection on what type of, or who the manufacturer is going to be of those appliances. If you look over to this side of it, we have a commercial-grade slide-in range that has a cooktop on it, and then you have the custom-built hood above it. All these things come into play as we are thinking about what we want this to look like. Even if you have a microwave in the kitchen and it's not a drawer microwave and you want it to be part of the kitchen, we can still hide it in an area such as this and it's still usable. All right, so I'm standing in the pantry of this beautiful home, And a pantry is something that people always ask me, what is new and what's innovative, what's creative in these houses today? And something that's made a huge comeback is a huge pantry. And the pantry, when I say huge, this one's big, but it's not even as big as the biggest one we've done. It has full cabinetry in it, has a countertop in it. It usually has small appliances in here. Sometimes it has a full second kitchen as a prep kitchen in here. But as you can see, as you look around, it's got pantry cabinets, it's got open shelving, it has a lot of counter space, it has a full sink in here, and it has the capability to do all the prep work that you need for your kitchen. But as we were talking about functionality, I wanted to touch on that pantry a little bit. Now let's think about the style. So as you're thinking about the style, which is probably something that's been going through your head more so than anything, colors, door style, wood species, your hardware, cabinet hardware is something that probably gets left off out of mind for a lot of people. But then as you think about those, the style would be full overlay, would be a shaker door style, which is kind of what you see in here. It would be other parts that would be inset, which we'll see that here in just a second in the kitchen. And then the functionality of the drawers and the rollout drawers inside the cabinets, and also just things that you are going to want inside there. Tray dividers, you're going to want spice racks. There's so many different things that you can do that are optional, or I don't want to use the word optional because it's really just like your personal wants that go into these things. So think about those things. If you ever could see it somewhere and you wanted to do it, now's the time to make that decision.